It's also a performance art. I mean, everyone is watching you, and you always like that aspect of it, right?
It comes with the territory. You know, a tennis court, it's sort of a theater play, where you have a stage and there's two performers and then there's the audience, and you also play for the audience. The audience is very important, and if you play in front of an empty stadium, you don't perform as well. Even though maybe millions are watching on television, you don't see that. You don't feel that. So you want to feel the audience, you want to feel the applause, you want to feel the people reaction to it after you hit a double fault. So players are depending a lot on the atmosphere of the fans and the spectators. So when it's a full house and you're a good performer, you want to play better for them.
How can you get the audience on your side?
By playing real, by being honest on the court. You know, they quickly get when you fake something, or when you complain too much, and when you don't give an effort. I think they and then obviously you have a reputation for it as well. So once you get to a final, you've won 5 or 6 times already. So the buzz around the club is that, well, this guy always tries hard, or this guy is diving, or this guy is this and that. So that plays a role, because you want the audience on your side, because they make a difference.
They will help you win that game.
They do. Yeah.
And you were known in like those 80s games for just going for it, right? Diving on the courts.
I was the aggressive type, yeah.
Was that part of that because you wanted to win? Was it also that you like to be a showman? Like, what was that?
No, I think fundamentally, I wasn't the fastest mover. I was quite big and heavy. So with some of the balls, I just couldn't get there with my feet, and I didn't want to give up. So I had to find another way of reaching a volley, which was then, you know, I would dive myself to the left, or even on the baseline sometimes. I just couldn't let go of a ball.
And tell me about the mental game. That must play mental tricks on your opponent when you are diving for things that they just assumed were gone. And then, who is this kid? Who is this kid? I can't beat him. How do you start this whole mental game? And does it depend on the player you're playing? And is it always something you focus on?
You know, I was very young, so I don't think there was a strategy of impressing the other guy by diving for it. I think it became natural, and then obviously after you win, you feel like that worked. Then you talk with your coach about it, you talk with other players, and they tell you, well, it's difficult to play you because you're such an imposing figure. And I said, why? I'm just being myself. I just want to be within and be myself and do the best I can. Well, that alone is imposing. And also the fact that when I coach now and I talk to the juniors, is that always play until the end. Most players today, they're down a set and a break, they put their shoulders down, the racket is down, and they have given up already, even though there's another 20 minutes to go. So the great players of today, they always finish the match the way they have started it. And you never know what happens at the end. The guy gets nervous, you get a good call, there's an injury, who knows? You know, there were a lot of matches I won at the end where I thought I couldn't at the beginning, because I was able to finish the match on my own terms. And I think that's about attitude, it's about concentration, it's about what's the purpose of going to the court is win the match.
And you keep your game face on the whole time, even between breaks.
I was temperamental. I mean, I screamed around, I broke rackets. The older I get, the more even keel I became, the more relaxed I became. But if you're really frustrated as a tennis player, you can't hold it in the whole match. So you know, if I coached today, I said, well, let it out one time. If you break a racket, you're going to pay a fine. And I'm sure your racket company is not happy, but you got to go back to concentration afterwards, because obviously you want to finish the match on your own terms. So at 17, 18, 20, I was a bit more temperamental than I was at 25.
Okay, and you're all swearing in German too, which is...
I learned to pick up the English language when I played the likes of McEnroe and Connors, believe me. And they taught me things that nobody ever taught me. So I quickly used some of the words that they used, not really understanding what it means, but it sounded cool. So that's why I started to swear in English.
Okay.